this live on YouTube bit, but I never really did live on YouTube ever, so I don't know how it works. But we're gonna do this anyway. So let's see, make sure that it is viewable to everybody. How weird. To everybody. Ah. Okay, so it is. So cool. Let me share it out real fast, guys. I know. There's something that sucks, I think, about doing live on YouTube is that you can, first of all, it's not as entertaining because it's not as edited, and second of all, you have to like share it after it already starts. So I'm like, why can't we just do it? So anyways, I want to talk about a few things today. Two of the things I want to talk about is, does Trump hate me for being gay, and how racist are we? The reason I want to talk about these two things is because of the fact that right now, as you guys know, what's going on really hardcore, that we're apparently racist. Because why? Because we're white, and that we also that Trump hates gay people. So about the Trump thing, let's just get rid of that one quick, because that one's actually going to be the first topic of conversation, because I don't want to talk about it for too long, because it's actually probably the dumbest one, and it's a stupid situation. Hi guys, so here's the situation at hand. So everybody's saying that Trump wants to fire gay people. Let's go over the facts of the situation. So there was two actual situations that happened where this just got twisted. All this is a media twist, and it's a lie. Because the actual thing at hand is, even Snopes reported on it, is it was a case that was from 2017. Let me pull it up for you so you can see it. Did Trump fire gay people? What a dumb thing to even say. Because everybody's coming to me everywhere, because you guys all know I'm a big supporter of Trump, and I'm a gay person, so everybody's keeps coming to me saying, Trump said now that they can legally fire gay people. Now, BuzzFeed's talking about it, of course. BuzzFeed's saying the Trump administration asked the Supreme Court to legalize firing workers simply for being just gay. That's what BuzzFeed said. Newsweek is saying the same thing. Trump administration argues LGBT discrimination is legal. And then Huffington Post, Trump's war on LGBT Americans is ramping up. The discrimination administration. Now, these are all fucking lies. They make me really mad to even see them, and I'm sorry I said fuck. They're making me really mad because this is all lies. So even the Human Rights Campaign, they're normally the smartest campaigns of all the leftist campaigns. And so I used to follow them, but I don't anymore. But here's what they're saying. Trump's timeline of hate for LGBT. I don't see how he hates gay people at all. Let's go back to the right to refuse service. The other thing that the gays hijacked and said that it was a gay thing. It's not a gay thing. The right to refuse service is an American right as a business owner. You have the right to refuse service to anybody. That law is not particularly put forth so you can just say, I don't want to serve gay people. It's not about gay people. You can technically pick who you serve, just so you can pick who you hire, just so you can pick who you fire. Guaranteed, if a company doesn't like gay people, the person hiring you probably will not hire gay people. That's not, the world doesn't work this way like you guys think. You guys are thinking that the world works like this. So all these companies hired all these gay people, and because Trump says, fire gay people, you think gay people are going to be fired everywhere? No. If something happens to a gay person, if they're kicked out of a bar, if they're talked to like they're lesser than or anything like that, you know it. Why? Because the media will plaster it everywhere. There'll be news about it. There will be YouTube videos about it. There'll be people speaking out constantly about it. Everybody was so afraid that every single business I knew hung rainbow flags in the month of June because everybody was so afraid of the whole anti-gay brigade. But here's the thing. Here's the real situation at hand. The right to fire whoever you want is an American right. The right to hire whoever you want is an American right of a private business owner. Now, if you do work in a public setting or a public business, you will have to sign a paper if you are an employee, saying that you will not discriminate on others. Now, employers also have to sign that paper, just so you know, it's a law. But what the whole point, the reason why this all came up is because of this. Let me bring it up for you right now. I'm going to bring up the actual situation, which has nothing to do with today. Has nothing to do with these days, has nothing to do with anything that's going on today. No gay people are being fired everywhere or nothing. This is just a simple fucking misunderstanding over what's actually happening in the Supreme Court over an old case. So even Snopes that hates Trump, and Snopes is very biased, and Snopes doesn't really give the truth always, but even Snopes says that this is not exactly true. What is true? The Department of Justice, the DOJ, argued before a federal court in 2017 that the Title V11 anti-discrimination protections did not cover sexual orientation. Why? Because it covers the right to discriminate against a sex, which, as you know, is male and female. But all of a sudden, the left wants to say that sex can mean broader things like gender or sexual orientation or all this stuff that they're trying to say it doesn't equal out to before. Remember how they said that sex is not gender? That's the left. I believe, like anybody else on the right, sex and gender is the same fucking thing. So, but now the left wants to say sex isn't gender, but sex is sexual orientation. The fuck? The bill does not say anything about discrimination against a sexual orientation, but it does say it bans businesses from discriminating against sex. So some leftists are twisting that and saying, oh, well, that means sexual orientation too. But the judge said, no, it doesn't. And Trump administration said, no, it doesn't. Because why? Because that's a fact. Sexual orientation is not underneath the same definition as sex. Sex is male and female. Do you understand me? So, because Trump's administration said a fact to the Supreme Court that sex covers only male and female, it doesn't cover sexual orientation. Everybody's saying, oh my God, that must mean Trump hates gay people and he wants to fire all gay people. No, that does not mean that. That's not reality. Come back to reality. Come back to real life, fucking gay people. What are you doing? Stop making me look bad. Okay? So, but what's false? What's false is that the case did not result in any change of any extant laws. And another federal agency argued the opposition for the same case. That's all. That's all. That's all. Literally, it's just simple. It's a case that has been brought up because the words inside of the case were not specific enough. And the left is claiming that because it says it has protections under sex, the left is claiming that that also includes sexual orientation. Trump's administration is saying reality. No, it doesn't. Although he's not saying, hey, fire gay people. He's saying the actual bill, the piece of paper, simply doesn't say that. Why? Because it doesn't say that. It says it covers protection under sex. Now, nobody has mentioned, nobody's offered, nobody's even asked him to add that to the bill. Nobody said, hey, tell Congress to add that. Instead, the left is arguing, saying, sex covers sexual orientation. Yet, when we on the right say sex covers gender, they say, no, it doesn't. Bitch! The left media has got to go. It's got to go. Because now they got the whole country telling me on Insta motherfucking gram on my awesome picture with my new Trump hat that I bought from the Trump administration fucking website. They're trying to say, oh, what do you feel about Trump saying that they could fire gay people now? The best part about social media is when you idiots, you leftists like that Tories World green leader, let me guess, you also believe that the Green New Deal is a good thing. Let me guess, you probably like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And let me guess, you probably got your information from CNN. Girl, sit down and shut up. The best part about social media is that nowadays when you see something on the news, you can research it yourself. How? Well, if you see something that involves a human being, you can go to their personal Facebook. You can go to their personal fucking chats. You can talk to them personally. Research shit, you leftists. Why is everybody on the left so retarded? And why is it people on the right are the only ones who realize that the news lies? Maybe because we're the only ones who research things. I don't know, just saying. But even your guys' precious Snopes, which is very biased and very anti-Donald Trump. Snopes even says some lies are true just to get people to hate Donald Trump. Even Snopes couldn't say that this one was true. Here's your sign. But when I see some idiot comment down below, like this dumbass that Tories World Green leader, the Greenpeace person who, I don't know, doesn't give a fuck about the Amazon rainforest, but cares about fucking cars and planes that people ride to go and give speeches about Green New Deals. Whatever. This hypocrite down there named Tories World says, yeah, and yes, he is homophobic. Trump's homophobic? Like I tell every leftist, how? Prove it. You want to come live with me, girl? You can come live with me. I would love to have you. I would love to have you live with me. Oh, no? You don't want to do that? You're too scared? Okay. I thought so. Sit down, bitch. Shut up. So, anyways, if you think Trump is homophobic or Trump hates gay people, where? Show me one thing. I'll wait. Which brings me to my next point. When I do say that to the leftists, they say, well, what about the military trans ban? I said, show me where Trump is homophobic, not transphobic. Although he's not transphobic either. Do you know why? Because unlike Obama, who is sending trans people to their death, Trump is saving trans people. How, you ask? Well, by banning them from going to the military. A trans person is at 49% risk of suicide. Veterans kill themselves. Veterans meaning, for those idiots in the back, veteran means you left the armed forces already. Veterans kill themselves at 6 times the rate of all civilians combined. That means divorcees, depressed teens, gothic kids, gays, trans, accidents, idiots who watch Jackass. All those numbers times that by 6. And that's how many veterans kill themselves. You want to know how many per day? 22 per day in America. That's not counting the ones who are still enlisted that kill themselves, which those suicide rates are pretty high too. So that being said, why would you want to stick a person who's trans, which means that they're 49% chance of committing suicide, into a situation where they're going to be holding a gun just to come home to up their chances to 6 times more likely to commit suicide if they weren't trans? I think that some math needs to be done here. When you take somebody that's 49% chance and put them in a situation where they're 6 times more likely, you just literally killed 3 people. Do the math yourself. It's not okay. Do we need to give them better options here at home? Yes. Trans people need better options here at home. Unfortunately, the Obama administration said we have 2 problems. We have a big problem with homeless trans people. We have a big problem with the homeless people, with trans people in jails. Oh, sorry, 3 problems. And we have a big problem with nobody enlisting to the armed forces. Well, as he demonizes cops in the armed forces, now leftist leaders demonize the people who protect them the most. What do you expect? So, how are we going to fix these 3 problems, Obama said to himself? Well, I know how, because I'm Obama. So we're going to fix it by telling people and getting them off the streets and getting them out of the jails. If you enlist, we'll pay for your sexual transitional surgeries. And that is fact. Where are the only 2 places where trans people can get their surgery paid for? A very expensive thing. In jail in Colorado, or in California now, or in the armed forces. So yes, we've had trans people leaving the jails and enlisting into our military. I see a lot of people in America who have gender dysphoria, who will do anything it takes to be happy. And unfortunately, the only outlet you give them is signing up for the military, which puts them at greater risk of suicide than ever before. And that's heartbreaking. I'm not against trans. I'm against people who advocate them going to our armed forces to kill themselves. Now, are there trans people out there who want to just simply fight for the country? I'm sure there are. But unfortunately, just like Muslims, right now you can't tell the difference between the 2. So in order to protect trans people, we need to have a ban of them going to the military. Now that's a deeper version of it. We can go to a surface version of it if you want and tell you, guess what? If you're colorblind or flat-footed, you can't go to the military. If you have any kind of disorder to begin with, if you have bipolar, you can't go to the military. I can never go to the military because I have ADHD. You cannot go to the military if you have any kind of disorder at all. And gender dysphoria is a mental disorder. Not to be put down and not to say we're discrediting it or thinking these people are less than, because they're not. Nobody with a mental disorder should ever be made fun of or put down, ever. Ever. In fact, they should be supported. And thank God, by the way, that it is a mental disorder. I know a lot of people in the medical communities are trying to make it to where trans is not a mental disorder anymore. which makes me upset because that's the only reason why it can be treated with surgery. Because if a doctor wanted to take a perfectly working body part and cut it off, that is literally against the law. That is against the law. Thank you so much, Miss Novak. Thank you so much. That's awesome. This is my first time ever getting one of those. Oh, hi. I have no idea what you're saying. Okay, I'm talking about the trans issues. So here's what it is. So if a doctor wanted to cut off a perfectly working body part, that's actually against the law. Let's see. Tony, can you? Doctor cutting off body parts that work just fine. Sorry, I'm typing this out on my iPad so I can show you guys the actual proof. So if a doctor cuts off a perfectly working body part, there's actually a law against this. Okay. Let's see. It's actually called BID. Let's pull up what BID is. BID is it's a condition called body integrity identity disorder. When you have body integrity identity disorder, that means like I have perfectly working arms, but I feel like one of my arms should be chopped off because I feel like I should be handicapped. Or, hey doctor, would you cut off my leg because I feel like I should be in a wheelchair? That's called BID. It's called body integrity identity disorder. That is against the law for a cop to do. And if I'm a cop, that's against the law for a doctor to do. And if a doctor does that, then the doctor can literally go to jail. Okay? The doctor will lose their license. The doctor will go to jail. But why are they allowed to do sexual reassignment surgery? Because it is a last known cure to the mental disorder called gender dysphoria. Now, if you're watching this and you're trans and you're mad at me, well, then you're not real trans, honey. Stop trying to think it's a fad. Stop trying to think you want to be an opposite sex because you think it's cool and I'm not going to accept you. But real trans people know this. Real trans people are not happy with the fact that they're in a body that they do not like. Real trans people know that this mental disorder is real because it doesn't feel good. And so a couple of ways that we try to cure those things are things like therapy. Then if that doesn't work, we give them literally hormone therapy where we inject hormones into their body. And then after they're approved by many doctors and psych doctors, 3 to be exact, then they go on and get gender reassignment surgery, which is a cure to gender dysphoria. Does it always cure gender dysphoria? No, it doesn't. Some people say that they regret it. And guess what? You can't go back. That's why I'm highly against children doing it. But for adults who are transgender, where the surgery sometimes does work, I am so happy that they're allowed to do that. Because they're allowed to do that surgery is only because it's a mental disorder. So when you see leftists say, it's not a mental disorder, tell them, girl, stop being a bad person. Why do I say that? Because leftists think that mental disorders, and if you point out that somebody has a mental disorder, it should be made fun of, or it means that they're less than. And that's not the right fucking way to be in life. People with mental disorders are not less than human beings. People with mental disorders are not bad people. People with mental disorders need to be treated with more care, need to be treated with a little bit more respect, need to be treated as if they have a mental disorder. Have some compassion, people. But just because I say trans people have a mental disorder isn't me putting them down. Stop letting your emotions go over facts. It's just factual words that I'm saying. You got it? So now, back to what I was saying. So if you people say that trans is not a mental disorder, well, guess what's going to happen? If some of you guys let the medical community take that out, and if I see one more gay person celebrate that shit, I'm going to tell you, when they stop doing the surgeries and when it becomes BID, to where a doctor legally cannot perform the surgery anymore, don't come for Donald Trump, because it's coming next. Because right now the Huffington Post, all the news stations, everybody's talking about how the medical community wants to drop the term mental disorder from trans people. And I see the Advocate, I see the LGBTQ news, I see the Pink News, I see every gay publication celebrating this fact. But what's going to happen when that happens? Well, girls and boys, doctors will not be able to perform the surgery any longer. And then what? And then you're going to blame Donald Trump and say he made it to where gay people or trans people cannot have their surgery. But before that happens, remember this video. Okay. But anyway, so that's the whole gay situation. Just know I bought this hat from the official Donald Trump fucking campaign website. Trump does not hate gay people, girl. Sit down. Trump is not homophobic. Sit down. If you think he is, okay, show me proof. Because let it also be known, if I saw that Trump was homophobic, I would denounce him. If I saw that Trump hated gay people, I would denounce him. I would go somewhere else. I wouldn't vote for him. But I'm waiting for one of you who always tell me that to show me proof. Just one of you. Can simply one of you? Just one? Please? One? Little bit of proof? Anywhere? Because if you look at Trump's stuff and look at Trump's words and look at what Trump is doing, I mean, again, I bought this from his website. The fuck? His name is in rainbow. Like, when does he hate gay people? And again, taking trans out of the military is to save trans people. But that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So let's go on to the next topic, which is the last topic, the racism. The racism. You guys always want to act like everybody's so racist. I'm so sick of it. Just because my skin is white doesn't make me racist. First of all, learn what genealogy is. And I know you guys laugh at it on the left when you guys say, well, a lot of people from Charlottesville, when they do their genealogy, they found out that they were black. Ha, ha, ha. You laugh at that. Cute. Well, I'm on the right. And I'm 25% black. Well, 24 to be exact if you look at my genealogy chart. My mother is half black. My mother's dad is a full black man. My grandfather is black, 100% by blood. So I'm aware of realism. I'm aware of reality. And I'm aware that my skin is actually a white color. I'm aware that I'm white. But I refuse to sit back and let this country confuse people and judge everybody by their outer appearance. Because my outer appearance has white skin doesn't mean I'm full white. But you judge me like I am. What does that sound like to you in our history? Can you think back in history at all? And think back to a time when some people in America were judged by the color of their outer appearance skin? And tell me, was that bad? It was. So then why in 2019 are we all doing that to white people? Because if we want to know facts, factuality, answers, I'm not even full white. I'm a quarter black. Fact. So that being said, why are we letting people be racist? Because you guys are always on the left throw at me. Racism is different than discrimination. Discrimination is when you hate white people. I get that. But racism is when you judge people by their outer appearance, when you judge them by their outer skin color. So you are being racist when you put me in the same category as all white people. You are being racist because you don't know how many of these white people have black in their genealogy. So it's more than just discrimination. Way more than just discrimination. And the fact that we're letting this all happen is crazy to me. We can also talk about the fact, oh, I know, Donna, I know. But I don't care about what people think. I don't care about the comments at all. Like, they're in comment sections, they're watching my video, I'm not watching theirs, so fuck it. Who's on top? Girl, hi. All you trolls watching me right now, bitch, hi. You're watching my videos. I don't even know who you are. I'd never watch your videos. And algorithms work like this. Actually, fuck it. You like watching my videos so much? Go to 2 videos down below and it says, there's a video titled, This is how Facebook works and how social media works. Click on it. It's only 2 minutes, but it'll tell you exactly how social media works and why you should never comment bad things to people, because that puts them at the top of all your algorithms and news feeds. So if you don't like somebody, just ignore them and they'll go away. Weird. If you hate me, bitch, don't say a word to me and I'll go away. Weird. You don't have to block me. But if you comment, then social media assumes that you like my content and they will simply put me at the top of all your newsfeed. So keep commenting, haters. Keep watching me. I don't care. Anyway, so back to the situation. Racism. Racism is bad no matter which way you look at it. There's no such thing as reverse racism. Whites are a race. We don't come from a place called white. We come from many countries. Just like black people come from many countries. Just like Mexican people come from Mexico. But South Americans come from many countries. I know you want to let's get those two mixed up, but they are different. And also, every race comes from different countries. So we are allowed to celebrate our culture. We are allowed to celebrate our heritage. And we are allowed to be proud of who we are as well. Don't forget, thousands of white people died freeing slaves. Don't forget forget, it was a white man who decided to become the very first Republican president of this United States of America. And don't also forget that not one Republican in our nation's history has ever owned a slave. Not one. You know, some black people even owned slaves, but not one Republican ever owned a slave. The Republican Party was put together to rid ourselves of slavery. And why am I bringing up the past? Well, because, children, today is an anniversary. An anniversary that is a sad anniversary. An anniversary that I didn't even like to give it any clout. But an anniversary that's all over the media today. Because the left loves hate. The left is showing on NBC and everywhere else that today, 400 years ago, the very first slave ship entered America. You know, it's funny that we talk about that date, but we don't talk about the date that all the slave was free. We don't talk about the fact that the day that gay marriage became legal, all the gays become 100% free. We didn't talk about the fact that when women were able to vote, women became 100% equally free. Why don't we talk about these dates? Why do we always have to bring up the dates that are horrible or horrific? Don't get me wrong, you should learn it in history class, but why are we talking about it every day? Like, I just don't get it. I do see somebody in the comment section below. Their name is TRLZ. I see Trolls. I get it. That's clever, bitch. I like that. I like you. He says, I'm Dominican. Whites should have their own month in Pride. What the fuck? Last month was White History Month. Happy belated, cuzzo. Well, oh, hi. But here's my thing. I believe that we shouldn't have any month for anybody except for Americans. We should have July be red, white, and blue like crazy. We should never put down the American flag. It represents us all. I think that gays are equal now ever since gay marriage. We are 100% equal under the law. We have no reason to have a whole month. Black people, the history of Black history used to need a month because of the fact that the schools weren't including it in their curriculum. But now it is included in the curriculum. So I don't believe they need a whole month outside of school. It's important to learn education. It's important to learn about history. Just like we don't need a gay history class, we need to just simply insert the gay history into our normal history and call it what? History. Let's not call it Black history. Let's not call it gay history. Let's call it history. Why do we have to separate? Why does the left always want to separate us away and call it pride? Separating gays away from the rest of society and saying, oh, it's Pride Month. Oh, a whole month. Give the gays a whole month. Oh, gay history class. What you're actually doing is segregating. And silently, we are all participating and we don't realize it. Because what it does is it creates alliances. It creates a wall between us all. Funny, I use that word choice. But it creates a division between straights and gays. And it makes us remember and always acknowledge the fact that we are all different. And that's not okay with me. I fought for equality. I did not fight to be separated even more. And that one gets that serious silence moment because it deserves it. I'm American, and so are you if you live in America. Legally. But for real, I do believe that when are we all going to finally just fight for actual equality? We say the word equality every day. All of us say the word equality every day. Yet you also say racism every day. When did you actually meet a true racist? I have yet to meet one. Yes, I've heard racist jokes. Yes, I've heard somebody maybe say the N-word in my life, but I've never actually watched it with my own eyes a real racist even walk past me. I've seen the KKK on the internet. But have I actually ever seen a man wearing all white walking past me? No, never. In fact, when I went to Portland, Oregon, and they tried to say that we on the right were showing up and that we were Nazis. There was a Nazi rally, right? No. I walked around our whole rally. I'm gay as fuck. I walked around with my camera saying, where are the Nazis? Do you guys, what, are the Nazis here yet? I want to meet a Nazi. I wanted to meet one because I'd never seen one before in my life. I really wanted to meet a Nazi. If you guys know a Nazi, tell me who so I can meet them. I want to go live with them. I want to talk to them. I want to meet a Nazi. But nobody's been able to show me one. And I went through all of Portland looking for Nazis. And I couldn't find one. And neither could anybody that was at the right side of the march. Nobody could find a Nazi. You guys claim racism every day. Since the left celebrates the 200-year anniversary of the day that the first slave ship got here, which was today, The left loves celebrating evil things. So since they're celebrating that, then why don't they use that as education and know that when you guys call people racist in 2019, you're putting down the lives that are dead, that lost their lives due to racism all through history. The beauty of 2019 is this. In 2019, people are not hung from trees. In 2019, people are not burned at the stake. In 2019, people are not in chains. Because in 2019, racism does not exist. Opinions do. Maybe even some discrimination does. But true racism does not exist. White supremacy does not exist. It's not a thing. It's a leftist ploy to get you mad at somebody like me because my skin's a different color. Now, I believe in a country full of equal. We live in an equal opportunity country. It is impossible to have equal opportunity and equal outcome. We'll get to that in a second. But I believe that I live in a country full of equality, meaning this. If you live in a country where blacks and whites are equal, and you believe that they are, then anytime you see somebody telling you to hate white people, replace the word white with black equally. And tell me, how horrific does that still sound? That breaks my fucking soul. Not because I think black people hurt me more to say I hate black people than to say I hate white people. It breaks my soul to hear people say that they hate white people because I believe that we're equal. And to judge anybody by the color of their skin is just pure evil. There's no other way around it. It's 100% pure evil. And nobody in America is racist. Not in the America that you guys want, not in the America that I live in, not in the America that I see every day with my own eyes. Now I'm sure if you go to some small little tiny town in the middle of the deep South, you might find one. Or even if you go to like, I don't know, Charlottesville, you might see maybe one. But don't condemn a whole race due to a couple of people's stupid words or actions. Because when you do, like I said, replace word white with black. Imagine if we saw Chicago. And because of what happens in Chicago with gun violence on black every single day, imagine if we thought and judge every single black person. No. Don't say, well, we do. No, we don't. That's just the leftist media lying to you, saying that we do, but we don't. Let's be real. That's like us really believing in our hearts and making publications about it and posting on Twitter that black people all have guns and that black people are murderers when we know that's not true. Different regions have different problems. When you start blaming the whole country for skin color, you become that very hate that you claim to fight against. You become that very hate that the civil rights movement overcame. You become that very hate that Martin Luther King lost his life for. You become that very hate that Harvey Milk lost his life for. You become that very hate that Rosa Parks sat in the front of that bus for. You become the very hate that the Underground Railroad worked so hard to fucking get over. You become the very hate that history has done everything in its power to change. You, my friend, are probably a racist if you judge white people for being white. Let that sink in. But I am against racism. But I can tell you, the racism I'm seeing in this country isn't from white people. It's from other white people and from every other race blaming white people. And that's another thing. To see Anderson Cooper celebrate on CNN that the white race is dwindling down, I didn't even notice that because, like, so what? We're all human beings. Like, fuck, stop bringing up race. But Anderson Cooper goes, white people are going away. They're becoming extinct. Ha, 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 ha. I'm like, Anderson, you're white. You're white. Can somebody tell Anderson Cooper is white? Because, bitch, that's you. That's you. That's you. That's going to be extinct. You. Not anybody else, bitch, but you. Gay card is not a race. It's not a racial card. It's a gay thing, not a race. So that being said, I think it's really crazy to me that people on the left are so adamant about this racism bullshit. because it's not real. It's just simply not real. The only racist thing that we still have in our government or in our laws or in anything like that is one thing. It's called affirmative action. It means that you can get college education for simply being a darker skin color than me. And why is that unfair? Well, you guys claim white people have privilege. I do not have any privilege. I grew up in foster care. I grew up without parents. I was moved every 6 months because when you're gay in the California foster system, they move you every 6 months. So you don't have sex with another boy in one of the houses. And so the parents don't risk their fucking licensing. I get it, but it's horrific. Let's talk about those children separations if you want. But anyways, like I said, I was a foster kid. So I emancipated at 17, moved in with my sister who was murdered at 19. I was on my own. How did I put myself through school? Well, girls and boys, I went to the college. I tried to put myself in school. I tried to get off the streets. I tried to do all these things. I found that it was harder for me to get help at the welfare office because I'm a white male. I found that it was harder for me to go get grants and college help because I'm a white male. And I grew up in a black neighborhood, so I watched some of my kids I grew up around, my black counterparts, they were literally getting free college and they were literally getting into school for free. I'm 30 years old now and I'm still paying student loans that they don't even have to pay and that they're already done paying because of affirmative action. That didn't judge me for my smarts. They didn't judge my black friends for their smarts. They judged us by our skin color. And because of our skin color, I got less help from the nation and they got more help. But am I mad at America? No. I'm lucky enough to live in America to have any help at all. You are lucky enough to be in America to have any help at all. And if white people have privilege, tell me, where's the privilege of being hated by everybody? Where's the privilege of being looked at as a racist person because of the color of my skin? And I've never been racist my entire life. My family's black. Where is the privilege in that? Where is the privilege of me trying to put myself through college, getting less help than anybody else? Where is the privilege of me having to work so much more to get a job, to pay for the schooling that I almost couldn't pay for? Where's the privilege? Where's the privilege when you look at every homeless encampment and the majority of them are white males? Where's the privilege? Where's the privilege? The majority of veterans that are homeless are white males. Where's the white privilege? Did I forget it? Like, was it supposed to come in the mail? Like, did I miss the mail that day? Like, where was I supposed to pick it up somewhere? Like, maybe I missed the memo. Like, where was my white privilege? Like, privilege for what? If you say, oh, because cops target black people, not white people. We want to bring up something stupid like that? Cute bitch, let's talk about privilege, okay? Women have privilege. Why? Women can hit men. Men can't hit them back. That's a privilege. Black people have privilege. Why? Because they can pull out their black card and use it anytime they want. Because to be a victim, that's where they have their privilege, especially against police officers. White people, where's our privilege? Well, I guess we might have a little bit more privilege to cops when we get pulled over. We might be able to say, hi, officer, and be a little bit more polite and get away with things a little bit more. You can call that a white privilege. Cute. Well, at that case, you got to call everybody privilege. Where's Hispanic privilege? Hispanic privilege comes to when they come here illegally across the border, as opposed to people who come here from the Middle East across the border or from Africa across the border. When they come here illegally, they are treated a lot worse than when Mexicans come here across the border, who are treated like gods. So every single person and race on the soil in America has a privilege in some way, in some form. Comparing the two is credible when you want to say only white people have privilege. That is a false statement. Every single girl, every single male, every single person has privilege. Some people have privilege because they're married. Some people have privilege because they're not. Some people have privilege because they're single. Some people have privilege because they have a boyfriend. Some people are privileged because they have a baby. Some people are privileged because they never had kids. Some people are privileged in many, many ways in America. If you are homeless in America, you are privileged. You got that? So I'm so sick of the racial rhetoric being thrown out by grown adults who are supposed to be our leaders, the ones we look to for advice, the ones we look to for help, the ones we look to for the answers. They're supposed to be the most mature of anybody, but they're not. They throw racism around like it's candy, like it means nothing. There are really people in our history that were so racially targeted, they couldn't even go outside. Hell, they had to listen to whoever they told them what to do. Otherwise, they were in fear of their lives. But also in history, thousands of white people died in a war to free slaves. Thousands of white people respected black people since the beginning of this country. Not everybody always was slave owners. In fact, some black people even owned slaves. Let that sink in. So don't throw around the word racism. Don't throw around white people this, white people that, because that's racist, literally. And let's stop thinking that Donald Trump hates gay people. And while you're at it, stop thinking he hates black people. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you guys want to support me, you guys can always go to patreon.com/theadorabledeplorable. I appreciate every little person that helps me because of the fact that they shut me down on Facebook hardcore. They sent me a message saying that they're de-boosting my content. They also told me that both of my pages are shut down right now. I am kicked off Facebook at the moment for 30 days. So I appreciate all of you guys' help. If you're a troll and you're watching this right now and you want to leave a hate comment, you're just simply an idiot. Because if you go down 2 videos from here, since you like watching me so much, go down 2 videos from here titled why Facebook doesn't have a dislike button is the name of the video. Click on it and you'll find out in 2 minutes why you should never, ever comment to people you don't like. Because you end up being the ass in the end. Just saying. Because when I don't like you, bitch, I just simply won't even acknowledge you. And guess what? You go away. When you don't like me and you comment to me, well, I go to the top of all your newsfeed because the internet's going to assume through algorithms that you like my content. That's the whole 2-minute video right there. So, hate on me some more, bitch. I don't care. You're making me famous. Thanks. Anyways, so if you guys want to support me again, go to patreon.com/theadorabledeplorable. I need the help so bad right now. I'm going to Texas as of Thursday to speak on Saturday at the Texans Against Radical Islam whole entire meeting. Rally. I have all these books I've been reading. I've been looking. I've been studying. I've been doing so much about Islam. Like, I have so much to tell you guys about Islam. I even have pamphlets to hand out to people when I'm there. Come and see me in Houston, Texas this Saturday. I will be doing a meet and greet on top of giving a compelling speech with a lot of compelling facts about the horrendous slaying of many Christians across the Islamic world. So I'll see you guys this Saturday. Like I say in every video, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.